Just go.
Alright. My engineering field that I'm going to be presenting today is biomechatronic engineering. So what is biomechatronic engineering? It's a relatively new field of engineering combining bioengineering and mechatronic engineering. What is bioengineering? Bioengineering combines biology and engineering. It takes a lot of the things that you have to know in biology and a lot of things that you have to know engineering-wise, and it combines them to build things in the medical field for doctors, medical equipment, CT, scans, just big things like that, all the way down to things like anti-cancer nanobots that they just started prototyping and stuff. And mechatronics. Mechatronics is mechanical engineering and beyond. So it's when you think mechanical engineering, you think cars, you think buses, you think trucks. Mechatronics goes a step beyond that to transformers, like you guys were talking about. It's building mechs, it's building complex prosthetic limbs and self-functioning automatons. The school that I looked at for the purposes of this was the University of California in San Diego, and specifically the Jacobs School of Engineering. It's pretty expensive, not too expensive, but in-state is roughly $30,000, out-of-state is roughly $50,000. That includes everything. The school, Jacobs College, doesn't offer a lot of specific scholarships, but there are a lot of general ones you can get. There's about $20,000 worth of aid you can get through the state of California and through the university. They have a 35% acceptance rate, and that again is based on your good grades, how interested. They do a lot of essay work for their application process, and it's a good school, especially because it's on the coast, west coast over there, where there is a lot of engineering going on in Silicon Valley and stuff. You get that culture there, and it's 14th nationally in engineering out of 198, almost 200 schools, and the university is 8th in public schools for engineering. They also have this really cool program that I found out through their website where they have a live jobs/resume bulletin. A live jobs/resume bulletin means that all the students there are allowed to submit resumes, and a lot of the companies that they partner with will go to that page on the internet and search for students, and students can do the same for companies and apply there. And that goes throughout the year, fall, winter, spring, summer. So a lot of students do get internships and stuff, but it is not necessarily required to graduate from the program. They do not, however, offer a specifically biomechatronic, curriculum because it's such a new engineering field. So the only prominent college right now that offers a biomechatronic major or minor is MIT. And as everyone knows, it's extremely exclusive and extremely expensive. This is the curriculum for a biomedical degree, master's degree. And as you can see, there's a lot of engineering things. There are some basic college level mathematics courses that you would have to take your first year in order to get just enough credits to go on. Thermodynamics, biomechanics. This goes more into the medical side of biomechatronics. Starting salary post-college is generally $45,000 to $110,000, and that dollars a year. Yeah, and that's because there is a lot of funding right now in the government. They want people to do this for military applications. In the private sector, there's a lot less of that. So depending on where you go, the region in which you're working, and who's paying you, the government versus the private sector, the federal government versus the state government versus the private sector, there's a large pay range there. So my interviewee He works a lot in the private sector on prosthetic limbs and things like that. And you need people skills because it's such a new field right now, and there's not a lot of people that are biomechatronic engineers. There are a lot of bioengineers, and there are a lot of mechatronic engineers, and there are a lot of software engineers that integrate together. And so he works in a lot of teams of fours with people to build these prosthetic limbs that they then interface with the people's brains to work. He takes a lot of classes still, even though he's been in the field for 10, 15 years. He takes a lot of classes still to keep up to date with just new technology coming out all the time. And now that colleges are getting more into biomechatronics and the biomechatronic curriculum, he goes back to that. He says that biomedical degrees are awesome if you want to start working in this field now, because that's where a lot of this is going. It's going into the medical field, it's going into military applications, and those are like the two big ones, he said. Stay with the PLTW program too. He said he likes that a lot, but it doesn't really necessarily feed into this field, so you might have to branch off a little bit as you go on.